The true self is absolutely independent of the story world, movie world. This independence is called liberation. This independence from the theater world is freedom. And this is the freedom. This is not a physical freedom. True freedom is not freedom from the body or relations. True freedom is emotional independence, emotional freedom. This entire study of Raj Yoga meditation, entire spiritual study, is for the tiny points of light. Every word, every sentence that is discussed or studied it is for the invisible point. Even while words are being spoken and words are being heard, this gathering is of the invisible points. We choose to look at it from this higher perspective. This is not a gathering of people, of genders, of humans. This is a gathering of souls. We approach it in this manner. We have the option to be comfortably stabilized in the image of a point. A tiny point of light. This tiny point of light has no insecurities, no anxiety, no fear. It has no disturbance based on anything in the story. We create this experience in solitude, in these minutes of concentration. Create this experience. And with this, we also keep a subtle check on ourselves. And this checking is through subtle inquiries. After every half an hour or so, subtly inquire, a silent inquiry inside. Am I speaking or am I doing? Or I am observing this character speaking. I am observing the actions of this character. Just a simple question. And this simple question, this simple inquiry is powerful enough to keep me safe from creating expectations and bondages, identities. Again, as the drama continues, the theater world continues. Focus is on the points. Attention is towards the invisible masters. Thank you. So, what's your reflection or experience of the first few minutes as we came together? What's your experience in the last 10 minutes?
Moments of liberation. We are not speakers or doers, but observers. Observer and observed relationship, felt real inner peace.
Nice. Again, just a question that who is this? Its name is Seema. So who is Seema?
Character in drama, character, role,
Yeah.
mask.
Nice. This is the character, role, or mask. Yes, and who is this?
Invisible actor, inner being.
Yes. This is the invisible being. So this is the living star. This is the living being. Living being who is also immortal. This is the living being. This is the immortal being. It's also invisible. And the word I, the word I can only be used for this living, immortal, invisible being. The word I, it cannot be used for the character, the role or mask. Cannot be used for Seema. So I, the habit of using the word I for not just one lifetime, but many lifetimes, is to use this word I for this character, the mask. And it's a strong habit. It's deeply ingrained. So that's why sometimes we don't even use the word I, because the minute we use I, um, it is meant for the invisible being, but because of being unconscious, immediately it feeds the character consciousness, it feeds the role consciousness, it makes Seema more, important. So you may have noticed we don't use the word I. And if at all we use I, then, rather than saying I am invisible, so, sometimes we say the invisible being is who I am, so you use it after highlighting the quality or the characteristics of the real self. So this way um, it's used in a very sacred way. So internally we can keep a check on how much we use this word for the character, and every time we can check this, we use it for the true self. Reserve this word. This is a very reserved um, word, reserved. So this is reserved for the true self. And hence, this separation from the character, from, Seema, the minute, we can approach it in many ways. One of the ways that Baba, the supreme teacher, teaches us to emerge and live consciously, live as a soul, being soul conscious, is by merging, merging the qualities, the characters, the nature, the habits of, this character. So you merge, you don't use the word I. If Seema is emotional, gets hurt easily, is angry, all whatever sanskars and habits, nature, whatever it is, to describe Seema. So the more I refrain from using the word I am emotional, I get hurt, I am this, I am that. If we keep a check on our internal language, I want to use a better word than language, but maybe for now, just language. So language, if we just keep a check on being attentive, on not identifying with the habits and nature, all the challenges and success of Seema, refrain from using the word I. You merge character consciousness. And once we merge character consciousness, then soul can become conscious. So it's either of the two. There is no gray area, as we say. There is no gray area. It's black or white. Spiritual journey or the inner world is never gray. It's white, it's black. It's that it's very um, it's very clear. It's either going to be day or night. Either you're going to be in clarity or in confusion. There is no middle ground. These two things, character consciousness and soul consciousness, as much as we'd like to believe it, but they can never coexist. Never ever. So either in this second, the role is conscious or the soul is conscious. It cannot be both. And it cannot be I'm 5% conscious but 95% unconscious. So either you're conscious or you're not. It's that simple. And every minute that the invisible being becomes conscious, even if it's for a minute, that minute is so powerful, it holds so much power that it can permanently merge deep habits, deep thought patterns, deep sanskars, habits of this character. 1 minute of being alive refreshes the entire system. And it's a permanent effect. It's a lasting effect. So our entire study is to make this invisible, immortal being conscious. So even for a minute, if the soul is conscious, then the personality that wakes up, this is a personality that has no understanding or knowledge of fear, no understanding, knowledge of anxiety, absolutely free from even the knowledge of what it's like to be disturbed. So for 1 minute, if I wake, if I awaken myself, if I wake up for a minute, the soul wakes up for a minute, then it's a very powerful phenomena. And this waking up has a global impact. So one can be in a small town, not an important, status, role, whatever. And if the soul wakes up, then this waking up has such a global effect that somewhere someone gets the inspiration to wake up. So it's not a local effect. It's not that if I'm doing it here and I'm so next door, next room, someone, they will get soul conscious. No, it doesn't work like that. But 800, 800 crore souls, 8 billion souls, one wakes up, somewhere there is an inspiration, somewhere there is a spark that starts to, shine bright. So we are global beings, so to speak. We are having a global impact. You know, at all times, I have a global impact. Yeah, and also the other way around. If for you know, the more I the more we get character conscious or role conscious, then that also strengthens some identity, in someone else. Someone's ego will be fed. It works in that way. I can't help if I am, the soul is unconscious, then ego wakes up. And ego waking up means character conscious, role consciousness wakes up. And so when role consciousness is ruling the inner kingdom, then it is working towards feeding attachments, feeding identities. And the minute mind is feeding attachments, my own attachments, then it is going to feed others' attachments. So it creates problem for the self and also invites more problems. So we can see we have this option to switch. It's a nice option. And our aim is to be on this side. Yes, be on this side and yeah, really play with it and enjoy, because this is the best experience for anyone. Yeah, it's just imagine the most beautiful um, child that you've ever seen, wakes up, opens their eyes. So it's that sort of an experience, that the most noble being, the most innocent and sweet and loving being. If you were to meet someone like that, absolutely forgiving, no trace of anger, no trace of irritation, and extremely sweet. So it's like this being wakes up internally. Any comments here? Yeah.
Sometimes feel blank from the person has written their name and also soul. So they feel blank from both their identity and the soul's identity. Feels detached from role but not close to being soul. Why does that happen?
Yeah. That this is like talking about the middle ground where you're not connected to this, but also not connected to this. That's ego at work. That is not soul consciousness. Because if I am emotionally disconnected to myself, I'm not able to feel myself. And no, I'm not able to. This, um, as we said, this I is a joyous being, happy being, absolutely light, very light, very relaxed, very calm. And if I'm not able to feel that, then obviously this side, this is who is at work. So as I said, it can't be, it's not this and it's not character. It's definitely, if I'm not able to emotionally be connected to who I am, then ego is at work. So character, when the character consciousness can never experience soul. Yeah. Character consciousness, the mask, can never experience uh, the living star. So there are different masks. One mask can be I'm very spiritual. Mask means identities, we're different identities. I understand it, you know, but these are all identities. Still, I am able to experience it. I may be able to understand everything. I may be able, which is all good, but if till I experience it, that's all at a role level. Only souls can experience. Only the soul can experience happiness. Only the soul can experience joy. And if soul is sleeping, then experience of joy, experience of happiness, experience of being light, experience of being fearless, I can't experience it because the one who has to experience it is sleeping. We have this Murli on the power to merge. Yeah, this is the Murli from 30th April 1977. Baba says that no matter how much external upheaval there may be, so upheaval, no matter how much external upheaval there may be, if you are told to stop in a second, you should be able to merge whatever expansion there is in a second. So the soul is told to stop. Yeah, just be. So you should be able to, Baba is talking to the soul, that you should be able to merge the entire expansion. Yes. So soul is like the seed. Yes, this is like a seed, and the role, the role is like a tree from the the character and its habits, and the nature. So everything related to the role, it's like a tree. So since we are in the last episode of the drama, then the role in the last episode also has nature and habits and thought patterns that are not that are very different to the roles we've played earlier. So this is the final role, last role. And so you should be able to merge. Baba is saying to the point that you should be able to merge this entire tree in a second. Seed should, just become like a, you know, you should be able to instantly go beyond this. You need to practice a great deal, merging your nature, sanskars, thoughts, and relationships in a second. So, your means whatever is given to you, yeah, according to the drama, the nature, the sanskars, the sanskars, the what else? Yeah, thoughts, thoughts based on this role. And he says relations. So you should be able to merge all this that is given to you according to the drama. So good qualities, skills, talents, everything in a second. Merge, to merge means to detach. So we can use different words for this, to to understand what merge means. You merge something, it's like you turn it off. It's like turning the television off. So merge, turn it off, or detachment, detach. And so completely it's like cutting the cord. Cut the cord. And for me to able to turn something off, turn if for me to use the remote and turn the television off, for me to cut the cord, cut something, I should, it all comes down to my clarity, to be able to merge, to turn it off, detach. It comes down to clarity of I am separate from it. If I need to turn, if I'm watching something on the television, till I'm not clear it's on the television, yeah, I wouldn't get the motivation to turn it off, because turning it off means as if I'm switching off my life, um, as if I'm dying. Yeah? But if I know that this is on the screen, then I can turn it off, then turn it on. I have the control because I have the understanding that this is separate from me. For me to able to cut something, cut a cord, I know that I am here. There is a cord, that connects me to this, and I can cut it off. And so for me to able to cut it off, I need to know that I am safe. I am safe. I am separate. So Baba is saying that you should be able to merge it in a second. How is it even possible to merge in a second? Sanskars, nature, thoughts, role, relationships. I am sitting in the role of Ananya. No, and I'm observing all the scenes and I'm observing anything. So, all the skills and all the talents and all the challenges and struggles and everything of this role, yeah, whatever this role is, nature and sanskars, that will continue to play. That will continue to, be played as per the drama. It's not that I wake up and all of this will change. No, this continues. The role continues. But me waking up means I can cut the cord from it in a second. Me waking up doesn't mean suddenly, the sanskars of or the role, you know, all the skills and all of that will be gone. All the struggles will be gone. No, story will continue as it is. But for me to able to merge it means I can close the book anytime. If I know this is a story, I understand while using this sanskar, while using using these nature that is given to me, using the role, using the relations, coming into relations, skills, challenges, all of that. I'm using that. The soul, I'm using all of that. I'm engaging in relations. But because if I'm clear that I am separate, then it takes me a second to close the book. So, how quickly am I able to merge? How quickly am I able to close the book? Shows me that how much this living being is alive, how much this is conscious. This doesn't change. This doesn't, you know, drastically, dramatically change. But this closing the book, how quickly can I turn it off? Shows that I understand that I'm separate. So Baba says you need to practice a great deal, merging your nature, sanskars, thoughts, and relationships in a second. So this is separate, seed is separate, and the tree is separate. Tree is not me, I cannot use the word I or me for the tree. So the words I and me are reserved for the seed. Yeah, I cannot use I and me for this, anything. So that's why, because I'm so clear that the tree is not me, the role is not me, because of that clarity, that constant understanding, that reminder, that awareness, I can merge anything at this level, absolutely anything at this level. In how much time? 1 second. But if I'm not clear, that if I'm confused, this tree is me, I keep understanding that this is me, this is me. No, that's my understanding. Then how can I turn it off? How can I close the book? Because the book is me. I would want it to go on. How can I turn off the television? Because what I see on the screen is me. How can I turn it off? And so thoughts won't stop. The nature, keeps becoming your sanskars. Baba is saying the sanskars should not emerge under any circumstances. In hunger or thirst, so he's giving example. There is a situation that Seema has to be hungry. Yeah. Seema is thirsty. In hunger or thirst, winter or summer. This is all. It's hunger, thirst, winter, summer, praises or defamation. This is all at this level, at the level of the tree. So this is a tree. Yes. So Baba is saying at this level, there is winter, there is summer, there is hunger, there is thirst, there is defamation, there is praises. So this should not, none of this, should emerge under any circumstance. Even nature can deceive you at certain times. Therefore, merge all your nature, thoughts, and sanskars. Your means whatever is given to you, whatever is not you. Yeah, it's given to you. So given to you, and so you call it yours because you're just looking after it. So nature can deceive you. So merge all your thoughts and sanskars and natures. This is known as having the power to merge. This is known to be the power of detachment, power of merge, power of closing, closure, power of closure. This is all, this is a power. Constantly keep on practicing this. Constantly keep on practicing this. Only when you have this practice over a long time, what will happen? When you have this practice over a long time, what will happen if you keep on merging?
It becomes natural. We feel separated. We won't be shaken by upheavals.
Nice. So Baba says that since this is a study, this is actually a learning, a lifelong learning, and also a lifelong. It's more of actually. More of. It's not learning actually. Shouldn't use the word learning. It's a lifelong. Um, just a fancy way to put it. It's a lifelong unlearning. So this entire life is to unlearn whatever society has taught, you know, society has taught you, religion, um, friends, family, whatever, lifetime, your experiences, experiences. We feel we're learning from experiences, but those experiences, yeah, that's a different way to learn. When drama is teaching us something, then it's actually we don't we don't learn. We actually, it goes into the a department of, being more, having more pride, some way or the other. People, or wherever there is an understanding that I have a lot of experience. Experience in a worldly term, I've seen a lot. I've, seen a lot of different eras and ages. So that sort of way, I've seen the down and up of life and all that. So that goes into a different department. If there is not, if knowledge is not there, then it actually becomes pride. So unlearning, there's many things, so unlearning. Whatever I keep telling myself, whatever my mind keeps telling myself, unlearning from all the identities. And every time we unlearn, there's something we discover about our own self. There is a discovery. So lifelong unlearning and lifelong discovery. Because if you remove one identity, you discover a river of joy. You remove another identity, you discover another river of, lightness. So you're constantly discovering, the beauty. You discover beauty, and but it happens when you unlearn. So that's why Baba is using the word merge. Merge. You don't learn it to be you. Unlearn, unlearn. So if you practice this for a long period of time, and this is a study, so you will be able to pass the examination. So examination means any challenge that comes at this level, you'll be able to pass through it. So it's a study. This is a study. Your study is to discover who you are. Not theoretically. You don't discover who you are theoretically because it is written somewhere. You are a peaceful soul. That's not discovery. Yeah. Reading somewhere, listening somewhere, I am a powerful soul. It's not a discovery. Discovery is when I unlearn. I stop identifying with the fears, with this insecurity, with, and how do you actually unlearn? You just can't unlearn again by listening to something, but perspective shift. Yeah, perspective shift. I have clarity. This is who I am. This is the role. From here, I can begin to unlearn. I can begin to discover when I have this picture, when I have this understanding. So the discovery is again backed by knowledge. The unlearning is backed by knowledge. That's why I said it's a fancy way to put it, but it sounds so, nice, unlearning. But unlearning based on knowledge. You're not just randomly unlearning, but knowledge. You have a truth, you have a understanding of what truth is. Then you unlearn everything that is false. So this is Baba's Murli. And at the end, there is a there's a practice that I practice detaching myself from everything, merging them within, and emerging the equivalent or an angel, equivalent to this invisible being, this living star, this immortal being, equivalent to all of what we are saying is an angel. Each one is an angel, but not theoretically. Yeah, it's a discovery. You discover that I'm an angel. So it's not a knowing, I know I'm an angel. I discover. When I unlearn, I'll discover that I'm an angel. So by using this power, I free myself from all bondages. Yeah. So by the more I merge this, this will emerge. Or the other way around. The more I merge this will, sorry, the more I emerge this, this will merge. So I can start anywhere, either focus on who I am, this will merge, or constantly work towards merging this and true self emerges. So whatever approach is easier. Today Baba spoke about power of merge, so we can begin in this manner. Yeah, so it's a so the practice, the habit that has to be instilled in each one is, even while talking, while moving along, while sitting, while eating, invisible being equivalent to angel is conscious. So practice is not just sitting, in silence, but practice even while listening, even while talking. I'm observing that this character, is sitting and is listening, and I'm observing. I'm observing all this. Angel is me. No? So any comments, any thoughts?
There are some questions. It's when you mentioned merge, turn it off, detach, cut cord. So somebody's asking, is that just for positive things or it is for negative things too?
Yeah, it's for um, all the external things, external situations. So rather than, using the word positive or negative, we can use the word high and low. All the moments and situations where, I feel high, high in the sense of very happy based on situations. Yeah, it's not permanent happiness. It's a happiness based on a relationship or something worked out in favor. So yeah, all of that is external. So both sides, not just one, but the full spectrum. Yeah.
What is the meaning of cutting the cord?
Detachment. Yeah, detachment is what it means.
Can we practice positive thinking in beginning as it helps in creating a mind which can practice?
Yeah, when we focus on the invisible being, that is positive. Invisible being is the most positive being. There is nothing more positive than an angel. What can be more positive than someone who can never die, who can never end? So we are just focusing completely on positive, which is the self. What is more positive than the one who is always living, always full of life? So, not sure how positive thinking is being interpreted in this context, but all that we spoke about, discussed, is all focusing on positive. But positivity not just at the level of scenes and roles and all that. If positive, complete shift on, who am I? So that is the place from where real positivity begins. If I'm focusing on situations that are positive and all that, then I can't help but be also I'll also focus on situations that are negative. If my understanding of positive and negative is at that level, then there is always a margin for me to be dangling at that level. So we are talking in terms of positive is the angel, negative is the ego. So shifting our attention from negative means shifting our attention from ego, and focusing it to the angel, which is this invisible star, star who is always fearless, always mighty, always light, easy, always grateful. Not when situations are nice, then he's grateful, always grateful.
When,
Sure.
sister, you were explaining about unlearning from identities, there was a question which said, would these go into our intellects?
Yeah, yeah. This will, yeah. Goes into the intellect means, yes, anything in whichever direction we go, this direction or this one, it's going to have it has an effect on our intellect. Intellect means the ability to see. So if I take steps towards this, side, towards the side of angel, then the intellect becomes divine. It becomes capable of seeing, the non-obvious. It is capable of seeing what is ordinarily not seen and ignored. But if I take, you know, if I move in this direction, then intellect becomes limited, it becomes narrow, so it has an impact of on our intellects. Yeah, if this is the question. Yeah.
How to cultivate Paras intellect?
Yeah, just through what we discussed, to use the power to merge, to not identify with role, seeing this separation first, understanding this separation, accept, the separation. Separation here is the truth, separating facts from fiction. So understanding the truth, understanding what is fictional and what is absolutely a fact, understanding what is accepting facts and accepting fiction for being fiction. Um, the more you understand, accept, you can practice. And through practice, you can experience. And the more we practice, we can realize. Realize is also like, your real eyes, the intellect, that opens up. People create images of a third eye, which opens. So this is like, yeah, realization. Realize, you're open. You can, your focus is always on non-obvious. What is being ignored, you're able to focus there. So everyone's ignoring the soul, the beauty, even the ego inside is ignoring the angel. But once these eyes open, then angels are not ignored. Angels are valued. The beauty of angels, is always in our attention, in our interactions. We don't stay at the level of interaction, but we go to this level of uh, engaging with an angel. Angel means the immortal one, the one who never dies, who's never born, who's never fearful. That entity. So let's absorb this, absorb the truth. Really absorb in a minute. Absorb the separation of I and the role that is given to me as per the drama. As per the script, a role is given. Om Shanti. Yes, Om Shanti. See you. See you soon. Shanti.